and I want to show you what I made. So this week's challenge was 3. Try to use 3 tools, a repetition of 3 products, 3 techniques, 3 colors. So the first one I did was this tag with a polymer clay butterfly. And yes, I cut that out using my Cricut machine. I rolled the polymer clay super thin. I baked it so it was cured, and then I cut out the sheet of polymer clay. And I do have a video on that on my YouTube channel or on my website. Somebody said I speak very well and they enjoy listening to me. Thank you. I would like to think at this point, years of live television, I can at least talk and get my thoughts out in a slightly cogent fashion. Gabby said, what? Cool. Yeah. And if you roll it this thin, this is like a 7 on the polymer. I mean, it's as thin as the piece of paper. You can also punch it with a punch. Rose says I have the Silhouette Cameo and still can't figure it out. It's the same idea with the polymer clay. I have a few Cameo videos, and if you have something specific, maybe ask a little bit later on, and I'll put that on my to-do list, things to help you with. So this falls under the 3 challenge because it's a background, my die cut butterfly, and 1 sticker. 3 things, super quick, super easy. So then this is the next day. This is a jelly plate print that I had made a while ago. And some of you who have been here before know that I like to work in a series. So I'll get out my jelly plate, I'll have fun, I'll just make a whole bunch of tags, throw them in a pile, and then when I'm having a day where I have to work quickly, I'll just grab something out of the pile and go. I do the same thing for distress backgrounds or watercolor backgrounds, but I'll make usually 10 at a time, and then I have some to choose from. So this is an old jelly printed one. As you can see, I used the repetition of 3. That's the same punch out of just plain white paper 3 times. And then this little stamp says Dream Big, and I was using a glue pad. And I actually used micro beads on it, and I hated it, so I scraped it off and I put mica powders. Linda says, why don't I post them on the Facebook group? They're beautiful. Usually because I hate to clog up the feed with my stuff when everybody else is sharing. So I try to just do a whole week at a time. So I haven't gotten there yet. But that's my repetition of 3. This was the result of a playtime I had with a friend, Catherine. I wanted to show her a little embossing technique that I did, and then we started playing with foils, which led to a Periscope this week, which is the first one that's up on Catch Me. So I love foil, and this is Deco Art foil, and it has the foam cutouts. Yes. Gabby says, no share on Facebook, it'd be great. Yeah, I will. I love foil and foam too. It's a lot of fun, and with these kind of Mylar backed foils, you can use double stick tape, craft foam, anything that has adhesive, it will grab it. So that says hello. This, I got a little more crazy. I used a foil background that I did on my live Periscope. And I showed how you could make negative space. So there's the heart negative space. This is actually the leftover. I foiled the star on something else, and then I used the leftover space on the tag. So little negative action, plus older pieces of stuff that I had done. I wanted to show how you could use foil and foam together. So I did that. And then these wings and that sentiment play actually came from a piece of art I made a long time ago that my dog chewed up. No, really. She tore it apart. And so rather than pitch the whole thing, I cut it apart and I salvaged the foil wings and the word tile. And so it says play because this was opening night for Fiddler. And it's really dimensional and it's really chunky and it's more like an assemblage piece, but that's okay, right? I like it. And it's super shiny. And I just used the Xyron to adhere the foil onto this tag. So the next one is another jelly print background. This time I had used a stencil to do my jelly printing. And again, 3 elements. Background. This is a punch. The punch that I broke on my Periscope. I fished it out and I used mica powders on it and then this little metal embellishment on top. Just 3. There's not even a sentiment. I didn't have time for that. It's okay. I just think it almost is good enough by itself. Now, this last one I have to show you, I kind of went all over the top. So I had this pretty background with all of this watercolor, and there's texture in there. Can you see those little crackles and everything? And then I had done some foiling, and this is metal leaf instead of metal like mylar foil, and micro beads, and writing, and pearls, and. So this is, it says color and texture, and it's what turns me on. I love color and I love texture, and so I put as much as I could on this tag. It's kind of like my kitchen sink. Gabby says, I love the foil heart. Super simple. Again, I just used the Xyron and some foiling leaves. So that kind of leads us to our challenge. You saw a lot of foil in what I did last week. I'm not going to call it the foil challenge. I'm going to call it the sparkle and shine challenge. So if you have foil, use foil. But if you don't have foil, you can use a metallic paint or metallic pastes or shiny stickers or aluminum foil. But sparkle and shine with the metallic bend. That's our challenge prompt this week. So, all right, crafty friends, make sure you join along on our Facebook group on the One Little Tag Craft Challenge. And don't forget to watch our live periscopes at Craft Test Dummy and the replays on Catch Me. Thanks for subscribing and have a crafty day.